Hi, my name is Jim Harwood. I'm a physical therapist working in New York City. My practices have an osteopathic bent, meaning I'm not an osteopath, but how I work to help heal people is through an osteopathic based kind of practice. Um, I just thought I'd want to start getting an opportunity or taking the opportunity to start reaching out to people um, just on some of my thoughts and ideas. Over the years, probably for 10 years, I'd say at least, I've spent a great deal of my free time, and free time being driving back and forth from work to work from home. I live in upstate New York, and my practice is in New York City. So you might say I have a decent amount of time to myself. So during those times, I've spent a lot of time, or maybe almost all of it, um, listening to, studying different spiritual teachers about what this is all about. It's really served me well in the sense that it's given me an opportunity to find something I'm passionate about, as well as it just automatically helps me to be better at what I do. What I thought would be just through helping me better at what I do manually. I'm trying to be a healer, so to speak. But I also realized it helped me just be a better person with everyone I run into on any given day. Um, so I this urge or this bubbling up inside about trying to talk about these things. I just don't ever seem to get enough time to do that. So I made a promise to myself many years ago. I made a promise to myself, to many friends, to colleagues, and to my brothers and sisters that I would eventually get around to doing this. Um, so I thought today would be the initial salvo. I really don't have any agenda and or plan. I think it's really just about just talking, getting my ideas out there, and if anybody is interested in further discussions with anything, I would be very obliged and happy to do that. I think the world right now is kind of crazy. We are living in the pandemic. We are post-Trump. Well, I don't know what that exactly means, but I'm hoping that we're moving towards a world that is more cooperative in nature than competitive. I know that's what Marianne Williamson's major theme was, and it resonated with me amazingly. I think that idea, it's like we've been so conditioned in our own minds and hearts to accept what the model of what societies and personal drive and personal ambition and personal goals should be is so driven based on that competitive competition. You can start to understand law of attraction if that interests you, which can get can be very what's the word I would say? It could be very it could be a paradigm shift for your understanding of how the world works. But I think at a minimum, we can all hopefully feel like the universe is abundant, meaning there are enough resources, and there's enough out there for everybody, and that if my way of attacking the world, and even that word there suggests something, but if my way of coping in the world is to think that what I get is really important because there's scarcity in the world, so that if Joe Smith gets something that I don't, then there's going to be that competition. There's going to be that ill will. If you believe that the universe is abundant and that there are many resources out there, then we can celebrate successes and achievements and goal achievement by our friends, family, or just strangers, with the understanding that that's okay, that maybe that's an inspiration for me to get more or get my piece of it all, because the universe is abundant. And there's so many ways of understanding that the gurus and the sages and just the people that seem to understand it have all said, and it's all the same thing. There's law of attraction. There's the understanding that quantum offers us vast possibilities. There's having a good mind. I often before I even understood any of this, I think back, like even say Michael Jordan for instance. He always said he always imagined himself making that final shot. He practiced that in his head over and over and over, so that when it came time to be done, it was like it was going to happen no matter what. And we all know, how, if you're a sports fan, how many times Michael Jordan was successful at that. So there's that idea that your subconscious um, doesn't understand really experience versus just thought. So you can teach your body how to manage and get things done, whether you're actually doing it in real time or whether you're doing it through practice in your own mind. Um, I have had friends that I've tried to convince them that the law of attraction exists, and I have a couple of very wealthy friends, and they would poo-poo that idea. And then I asked, one in particular, I was like, look, you're wealthy, and did you ever doubt in your mind when you started out that you would be wealthy one day? And he said, no. I mean, it was I just knew it. And I said, well, there you go. I said, that's an example of the law of attraction, that you never doubted it. You knew it was going to happen, and therefore, I believe the way you would understand it is that you attracted that to you. There is a lot of examples of those type of things, and they're kind of things I do want to talk about, in the ensuing time I spend sending or talking and getting this out. I just needed to get it started. It's been gnawing at me for quite a while. I started many different spiritual groups together. I have an awake group, I have a meditation group, I have a book club I started with my family. Right now we're reading and breaking apart and taking our time going through Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural. I found it to be an amazingly fun and spiritually growing opportunity for me, and well as with my brothers and sisters. My goals for this is just to, I don't know, express something that's deep inside me that I feel like I need to say. I guess it doesn't even matter if anybody watches this. It's the fact that I'm doing it. I'm getting it out there, and really just, I think at the end of the day, all this only matters is if actually it changes action. I hope for, and I try to do my best for a better world. In my small little way, I've learned to understand that's a personal decision per person. It's not done it can't be done in a mass, or the responsibility can't be for me to impact a mass amount of people. I can decide by myself to make these decisions that, simply put, every day I think of myself, I have a whiteboard, and yesterday's wiped off, and I build a new work of art, I hope, per day, which is just predicated on the idea that anybody who happens to come into my life and I cross paths with, that I can either help them make them smile, help them feel a little better about themselves, help them feel like they've been seen, heard, listened to, and also leave that channel open that I can learn from anything they might provide. Because that's all we have. I mean, if you really think about it, is the moment of each day. And I'll get into a lot of different things about present and power of now, and that Eckhart Tolle tells us about, because it all is that simple. And I really do believe that's why we're here. I believe at the end of the day, the only reason we're on this earth and what each day is about is just a bunch of experiences giving us the opportunity to learn that we are God, if you will. I mean, I know that's a tricky word to use, that we're pure consciousness, that we are source, and that, again, this body, external, is just an illusion or an image, or is temporary, and all it is that. And once we understand that, and once we figure out a way to allow that to reveal itself, then the only natural consequence that comes from that new relationship between your ego and your external self and that source is kindness, compassion, and love. I was explaining to my family recently during our book club meeting, and it's not even, it's a love we don't fully, we can't put words on it. It's like you get out of your own way, you allow source to express itself, and it's like when source expresses itself, it opens a spigot that the only thing that comes out is love, and love being like just knowing why we're here, and just understanding that life is just that. It's all about love. I mean, I know growing up, I was raised Catholic, and I would always hear, our Father loves us, Jesus loves us, the Holy Spirit, blah, all this stuff. It was like literally blah 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 to me. I had no idea what that meant. It had no impact on my life. It didn't resonate on any level. But as I've done the internal work, and I'm by no way anywhere near the end, and I feel like the more I know, the less I know. But at the end of the day, I'm starting to get a better understanding of what that love is. It's not the God external. It's not, that's the problem I have with the Catholic Church. Now, I had a problem then. I didn't fully understand it. Now I understand it, is that, the agenda of the church, or probably every church, is that, you spend all your time allowing your five external senses to define the world and bring that back to make meaning. And therefore, we're given an opportunity, or we're put in a position where it's fear-based, right? We got to make sure we do right to that God out there, what we say, what we think, what we hear, what we do. But really, in fact, we're supposed to build the sixth sense, that internal sense, that allows us to go inward and find that inward source, and allow, and then realize that we are it. And then if we're it, then everybody's it. And then therefore we get back to that cooperation versus competition situation. If we're all the same, why do I want to compete with you? I mean, it's another level of what I was saying, another way of looking at it. We are all the same, and therefore we should be cooperative. And I think that's the end of the day. That's what we're supposed to do, is to reconnect to the source of who and what we are, which is just pure knowledge, pure understanding. And once there, get out of the way, because what will come out is just pure love. It'll just be love. And then there'll be kindness, compassion. And this is what this world is capable of. I mean, that's a scary thing. We're so programmed to think that the way we were raised, and not the raised, I shouldn't say it that way, but the way we were programmed is to think that doesn't exist. And if it does, it's pie-eyed. It's this fantasy. And I don't believe that. I believe it's really what is capable. And I guess I got to end up here, because I have a meditation group starting in a few minutes. But I guess at the end of the day, that's what I'd like to try to get through this, is to just express some of the things, how I understand them, humbly, not knowing any answers, but feeling as qualified as anybody else, because I'm a human being on this earth, and I've taken the time, and I'm taking the time, and it's an important part of who and what I am, is to try to understand this. So therefore, that gives me the right to talk about it. Doesn't give me the right to expect you to listen, but it makes me feel that I'm okay. I am an authority on this, because I'm a human being, sensitive in this world, who is really intrigued, interested, and passionate about that understanding. And I mean, it impacts my everyday life. I think about it all the time, and I don't feel like it's a major distraction to life, because I feel like it's integral in what I'm trying to do every day. But well, I'm going to stop there for now. I do appreciate if you did happen to listen to this. I appreciate you did. I would like if you're interested to respond, or maybe we can figure out a way to get a bigger dialogue. But once again, thank you so much. This is Jim Harwood. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow.